Some years ago, the International Institute for Secular and Humanistic Judaism reviewed our program offerings. Were there any programs that were no longer utilized? Were there programs that we could add? I was on that committee that investigated, along with Rabbi Denise Hendlarsky and Rabbi Jeremy Kreidel, whether to develop any new programs. We realized that there were still many communities in our movement that did not have trained leaders. The rabbinic program and our leadership program both take a significant amount of commitment of time, energy, and many of our organizations are too small to pay for professional leaders, and our volunteers all have busy lives. A lot of our communities could not provide for the basic needs of their membership: ceremonies celebrating birth, coming of age, bar mitzvah, marriage, and honoring and celebrating a person's life after they've died. Leaders in our larger communities also needed help, especially responding to non-member requests. Oops. Working with individuals around these important life events for secular humanistic Judaism takes knowledge, both Jewish and secular, in addition to the qualities of sensitivity, compassion, tact, and good humor. Now, other humanist organizations offer certification and ordination with very little training. We felt strongly that both our members and our leaders deserved more: better preparation for our leaders and better care for our members. We wanted our officiants to understand the basic ideas and the philosophy of secular humanistic Judaism, the history and development of the various life cycles in Judaism, and how to create a meaningful and powerful ceremony, as well as some basic skills in dealing with the emotions and conflicts that are inherent in these times of transition in people's and families' lives. We wanted a program that could be completed in about a year. The success story of that evaluation is the Officiant program. My role in this program is to teach philosophic guidance and counseling, a portion of the life cycle course, and review and evaluate the fieldwork, which consists of writing 4 different life cycle ceremonies. We have certified 8 officiants to date. Some were on their way to becoming leaders or rabbis, and tonight we are celebrating 8 additional students. For some, it is a step along the way to becoming certified leaders or rabbis. For others, it is a graduation as an officiant.
Our third officiant graduate is someone who is marking a way station in his progress. This will be a stepping stone toward the leadership program and ultimately, hopefully, a humanistic rabbinate. It's Martin Maggio, who comes to us from London, and not London, Ontario, but, well, he did come from London, Ontario yesterday, but he actually comes from the United Kingdom. He's been very involved in the online world of humanistic Judaism through Facebook and through the online Spinoza Havurah. He's been wonderfully creative in creating liturgy in Hebrew and in English and in Ladino. He's a linguist as well as a mensch, and so it's wonderful to have Martin here to be able to celebrate together.
I first found humanistic Judaism when I was 20 years old and read Rabbi Sherman Wein's Judaism Beyond God, probably like a lot of people in this room. Every page reflected beliefs that I hadn't realized I held. I was very excited to find out that there was a community in Birmingham, as I lived in Birmingham at the time, and I liked to walk to shul. I was quite disappointed when I learned that the walk would take months, be highly dangerous, and the required crossing of the Bering Strait could only be undertaken during winter. Over to Plan B, which meant searching for whatever materials I could download from the then easier to use internet. And I gradually began integrating humanistic Jewish values and philosophy into my Jewish life. As the years passed, there seemed to be no community in the UK. So I was content to go to the liberal shul that I was used to and continue to include humanistic lessons and readings into my Friday night and high holidays home observance. I had never been to a humanistic Jewish service, especially not one led by someone else, And when 2020 hit, avenues opened up online for connecting with others, and my first Friday night service was at City Congregation in New York. It was, however, at midnight my time. But it was still a wonderful experience. Soon thereafter, various groups began forming via Zoom, and the rabbi of my local liberal synagogue in London asked me to lead a service. I agreed, and although the service went well, there were some people who had never heard of humanistic Judaism. They expressed their discomfort with a service that didn't mention the God they didn't believe in. It was more appropriate, they stated, to do a reading in which we address the God we aren't sure exists and tell him as such, and then say that we will continue to pray to him and tell him that he is so blessed to have commanded us to light candles. My own feelings grew stronger, that I was more and more uncomfortable with not meaning what I said, and I was back to the drawing board. A few months later, I was asked to lead a service at Spinoza Havurah, a purely online community with regular Zoom services, and I nervously volunteered, not quite sure how my particular style would be received. I had found that I was somewhat too humanist for synagogues in the UK, and too Jewish for humanists. On top of which, I unashamedly bring with me elements of my Italian and Sephardi Judaism wherever I lead, challenging the assumptions that abound in some spaces that Ashkenazi Judaism is the norm. The feedback I got from the community at Spinoza Havurah inspired me to reach out to Iishj to apply to the leadership course. It's, by the way, taken me 2 years to realise that it's not SHJ, the course is Iishj. People had started relating to me as a community leader. I had congregants phoning me asking me to use my forms of Kaddish, and I had people looking to me for guidance on how to adopt Judaism whilst avoiding cultural appropriation. So I knew that I needed to develop and grow if I was to continue to provide this much needed service. Leading any community is challenging, and doing so with an international online-based community comes with its unique challenges. Yet it is also a great platform which enables people all across the world to connect, meeting the needs of a wide variety of people from different backgrounds who speak different languages, some of whom are Sephardi, some who have been traumatized by traditional religions, and others who love their traditions, and some of whom have different accessibility needs, require skills that have pushed me to do better and taken me beyond my personal creative liturgy projects that has been my humanistic Judaism for 2 decades. Leading requires compassion, patience, knowledge, and an ability to respond to each person's needs proactively and with a great deal of reflexivity. Studying for this course remotely has at times been difficult, but it has enriched me and I have enjoyed it immensely. It has also enabled me to make connections and community in ways that were previously impossible. I am eternally grateful to Chief Rabbi Miriam Jerris, and I always call him Chief Rabbi, and Rabbi Adam Shalom for their encouragement and support. And I'd also like to thank Rabbi Jeffrey Federic and Rabbi Tzemach Yoreh, who shares my passion for liturgy. I'm also grateful to my friend Risa Morris, who I met because of this course, and who has so generously given me a place to stay in Toronto, and who has been an invaluable Havurah partner throughout my journey. We in fact meet every Wednesday. We have met every Wednesday for the last 18 months or so. I'd also like to thank my mother who is watching, and Kurt who is watching online. I hope to continue lifelong learning in how to be of service to the community and to continue helping others feel less lonely in their Jewish journeys. I've come halfway across the globe to be a congregant at my first humanistic Jewish service, where my fellow congregants have actual limbs and bodies. This temple is such an important and historical place, and words cannot express how much it means to me to finally see this place in real life. I mentioned earlier that I feel like I'm at the Kotel. And in some ways it really is like that for me. And I'm incredibly honoured to be able to now include myself officially in SHJ's or IISHJ's leadership team. Thank you. Buen Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
איפה אורי, אורי בי, איפה תקוותי, תקוותי בי, איפה כוחי, כוחי בי, וגם בך, וגם בך. Where is my light? My light is in me. Where is my hope? My hope is in me. Where is my strength? My strength is in me, and in you, and in you, and in you.